All right, hello, welcome to the weather update. It's almost 10 o'clock on this frigid, absolutely bone-chilling night tonight. You can see here on the satellite the storm moving through, and then the sky is actually clearing out as we got toward the evening. But you could see there's some ocean effect cloudiness there, and maybe even some snow showers, perhaps. Though the radar, let's see, not showing. Well, let's see, the radar is showing some snow showers out over the ocean. Right now, they're not drifting over Long Island, but they are drifting over New England, parts of Nantucket dealing with it. So we do have some of these islands dealing with it, the Cape and the islands dealing with it. But it's all about the cold right now. That's what it's all about. So let's go to the current conditions outside right now. 10 degrees. That's what we have here at Farmingdale. So we're down to 10 degrees, entering the single digits now. Wind advisory is about to expire, I think, but you can still see some pretty strong winds. Look at Gabreski Airport, 14 degrees, west-southwest wind to 26, gusting to 32. That means the wind chill is 6 below over there at Gabreski Airport right now. And if we go and we look at Kings Point, 11 degrees, west wind to 28, gusting to 35. That's a wind chill of 10 below. So, yeah, it feels like it's below zero when you feel that wind chill. And the winds are still pretty strong right now offshore. 47 mile an hour wind right now being reported at this buoy right here. And there's been a lot of storm damage across the area, flooding, all this stuff going on. We're going to first now look at the reports right now that we have right now. So if we go to the highest wind gust reports, we're going to look at that first. And you will see New Haven County had a wind gust up to 64 in Connecticut right now. Wind's not as bad further north to the west, but in Nassau, Bayville, 61 mile an hour wind gust. Wantagh, 52 mile an hour wind gust. Great Neck, 50 mile an hour wind gust. I'm surprised they don't have that Kings Point one in there at 60 something miles an hour last night. And then JFK had a wind gust at 58 miles an hour, and this was reported again in the early afternoon. Eaton's Neck, 64 mile an hour wind gust at 5:17 in the morning. West Hampton Airport gusted to 61 around 1:44 p.m. That was with that severe thunderstorm that hit. Fire Island, 58 mile an hour wind gust. And White Plains Airport, 53 mile an hour wind gusts there. So these winds are very impressive, but it's not just the winds. We have storm reports as well that we have to get through. A lot of reports of flooding going on here. Let's see here. Rockland County, down wires in Westchester, down wires, down trees in Westchester. Westchester, thunderstorm wind damage. Nassau County, thunderstorm wind damage actually reported in Port Washington. I guess that was a wind gust with the thunderstorm here. So lots of down trees, non-thunderstorm wind damage in Shinnecock Hills, down tree on New York 27. So lots of reports of down trees. Too many to really read here in this. But you'll see here flooding in Freeport, wind damage in New London, Connecticut, trees and wires down in Fairfield, Connecticut. Meadowbrook State Parkway flooded at exit M9, Merrick Road. All southbound lanes were blocked. So it was actually a flood. The parkway was underwater. This was the worst coastal flood situation that we've had since Superstorm, or if you want to call it Hurricane Sandy. Belmore also flooding in Belmore as well. Lots of flooding on the South Shore. Flooded road at Bayview Avenue in Amityville. Flood in West Hampton as well. Flooding in Queens and Canarsie. Coastal flood in Hampton Bays. Several areas underwater along Dune Road. Inwood, 2 feet of inundation in Queens. I guess that's by Far Rockaway. Coney Island, flooded roadways. Coastal flood in Copiac, Suffolk County. Photo of flooded road at Seacrest Avenue. So there's a lot of flooding out there. Look at all these reports that we have to high water at apartment complex on the water in East Rockaway right now. Minor photos showing some roads closed due to flooding in Sag Harbor. Coastal flood in Patchogue. Flooded roadways at Grove Avenue and Clifton Drive. Flooded road at South Ocean Avenue and Maiden Lane in Patchogue as well. Coastal flood in New Haven. Thunderstorm wind damage in New Haven. Trees and wires down. There's lots of reports of this. Coastal flood in Bayville. Coastal flood in Port Washington as well. That impacted service on the N23 as well. And then there's that wind gust of 61 miles an hour at West Hampton Airport, and a 57-mile-an-hour wind gust in Hampton Bays as well. So really just lots and lots of storm reports. And then we've got to get to the rainfall reports as well. So let's see how much rainfall we got from this as well. Connecticut looks like some parts got close to 2 inches there. Eastern Connecticut there. Middlesex County, New Haven County, Bergen County, a lot of rain there. Griswold in New London, 1.80. 2.21 in Paramus in Bergen County. And so northern New Jersey hit hard as well. Passaic County, Ringwood, 2.23. So they've had some flooding there from the rains. The heavy rains really did wind up materializing. Midtown Manhattan got Central Park got 2 inches of rain. Kings County in Brooklyn got 2.32 inches of rain. So you had this heavy rain in addition with the wind. Where's Nassau County in here? So there are no rainfall reports from Nassau County. Where are they? I don't know. I didn't notice any from Nassau. So then, not too many from Long Island for whatever reason. Look at Rockland County, Montebello, and Spring Valley, almost 3 inches of rain. Austin and Westchester County, 2.36. But yeah, I guess Long Island didn't get as much, 0.94 at West Hampton. So we'll have to look at these rainfall totals when we go over the observations as well. Quite substantial amounts of rain out there in some areas, and that's the concern, is you have the flash freeze going on and all that other stuff. So I want to show you some images here. Let's start with this. So this again is Long Beach. This is all underwater. Long Beach is underwater. Well, not Long Beach. This is the Long Beach line of the Long Island Railroad, which is still out of commission right now. If we go and we let's see if we can find that tweet here. Long Beach line is still out of service, by the way, and the railroad is having problems here. Now there's switch trouble at Jamaica. There was switch trouble at Jamaica. Then there's a whole lot of problems. Switch trouble at Farmingdale as well. And then there was a suspension on the Port Jefferson line as well due to debris on the tracks. And then we have there's the Ronkonkoma branch experiencing delays as well. And signal trouble, Stony Brook. Then it was signal trouble. And then the Long Beach line is also suspended as well. Babylon branch is making extra stops. And again, Long Beach branch remains suspended right now. I'm guessing that the N15, they're going to hopefully have shuttle buses all night, because I don't see the service coming back when you take a look at the damage here. So we're going to actually go and we're going to look for that tweet there, Island Park. And we'll see. It should show up in here. Here we go. So this is the flooding at Island Park. There's some of the images of it right here. You can see this is the flooding that was going on. So again, very substantial here. LIR view from the LIRR stuck in Island Park. So it looks like they were on a train and they got stranded on a train when the floodwaters came in. Here's another. This vehicle should be, that's not very respectful there. It's creating a wake like that. Let's see if we can find the Island Park LIRR here, which doesn't seem to want to. Let's see. This is Island Cove Park at Stamford. Here's another Island Park, and look at this, Rhode Island. Island Park, worst flooding in years, but said nowhere near Sandy level damage. But it is the worst flooding we've had since Sandy, I think. So this is the video here of, you can see this picture here that we have here of the flooding here. And again, look at this. So again, here you go, all underwater. This is the Island Park LIRR station. And the problem with this now is that this water isn't going anywhere, and it's going to freeze. And that is going to create a big mess. If this all turns to ice, it's going to this could be a mess until we have warm weather to melt it, because you can't ship that all the way. You know what I'm saying? So that's the concern we have right now. And getting the News 12, again, a lot of flooding. I mean, the South Shore was hit hard. They should have covered some other parts of the island, but you can see here flooding in Freeport, Wantaw. I'll show you Wantaw here, flooded out as well. Look at this, kayaker takes the flooded streets in Wantaw. Flooded streets in Suffolk County. You can see here flooded streets here. They're in Amityville right now. You can see here flooded streets. And the problem with this, again, the unique issue is that we have this really bitter cold now coming in. So this is all going to become ice, and that's going to be a big problem for a lot of those areas. Island Park residents stuck in homes. Island Park hit very hard. And again, these areas on the South Shore, I mean, the Babylon Branches towns are the place to be. But if you're like if you're on these like Island Park or Long Beach or these really low-lying areas, man, it's really uninhabitable. I wouldn't want to live there. East Rockaway too, because this is what's going to happen more and more as we deal with the effects of climate change. And this wasn't even a hurricane, and look at what it did. Just a storm basically. So it's really, really a concern. So power outage situation. We're down to 1,746 customers without power right now. So the power outage situation is still have power outages, but they've done a good job restoring them, scattered all about Long Island right now, pretty much. And now if we go to poweroutage.us, you'll see New York is still orange. We still have 82,000 customers without power. And you see the whole state dealing with problems. Upstate, too. The whole entire state dealing with issues. And then if we look at New Jersey, they're down to 22,000. Looks like northern and western Jersey, they've got some outages there. JCP&L is having most of their issues in the northern territories. Again, due to those high winds and the heavy rain, too. It brought down trees. Pennsylvania is still dealing with 62,000 outages as well. Texas and Louisiana still dealing with, again, these outages. Maine and looks like New Hampshire now hit very hard as well. Really hit very hard in these areas. Again, the strong winds, the rainfall, and Maine as well. Look at this, 254,753 customers without power. A lot of these areas are like have at least half, if not more, or some areas are nearly completely out in these areas here. The Maine power grid is not a very strong power grid, and it's not built to handle really high winds. I mean, they have a lot of wooden, even the transmission structures are wood. So this doesn't surprise me at all that we're seeing all these outages here. And like I said, Maine is really going to have to do something about their power grid. So let's now go and look at some more pictures of the flooding. This is Long Island Firewire, Inwood. This is Inwood. Look at this. So this is Inwood and Far Rockaway. People trapped in their cars. They had to rescue people. This is how bad it is right now. And then there's more here. Long Island South Shore is completely flooded. Multiple water rescues going on. This is Baldwin Harbor. So again, this is just another reason why I say we shouldn't really be putting so much investment into the South Shore, because it's going to become uninhabitable as we deal with more and more climate change. So yeah, there's just some pictures there. And then of course, here's more from CBS. You could see flights canceled. Of course, it's a big travel day. I mean, literally, the timing couldn't be worse. Flash freezing is a major concern. Far Rockaway, residents impacted by flooding. Storms take down power lines. Just some of the examples of this storm here that we have here. So I'm not going to play these videos, but it's absolutely crazy what's happening. And then you have Maine getting hit getting hit very hard here as well. Here's a video from Pond Cove of some of the waves. There's actually a video where a wave was actually cresting over a house. I don't know if we can find that here. Power outages being reported on Maine. Here's a look at some of the incredible storm footage across the state. Let's take a look at this here. Maine was hit very hard too. Storm Center at noon.
Is reporting more than 3.
Probably will go up over at the Portland.
Let's see if they have some of that. 64-mile-an-hour wind gust there reported.
But still pouring for the Oxford
So they got a lot of heavy rain over there, and they had that snowpack too. So that's going to create a lot of flooding too.
Northern areas. Shocked if there's a rubble of thunder too.
So let's see if they have. They said there was
pretty prone.
some footage.
Some repairs before and then under. Into the pavement.
And you can see the roads are getting washed out.
Do some repairs, right? We had astronomical from that high tide. Yeah, we definitely get some to get all of this.
So
Bass Harbor, I believe.
Hey Keith, we're here at the Bass Harbor Lighthouse in Tremont.
Look at the conditions there.
Here, and then if you take a look at the trees, you can see
what a mess. So it's a big mess with this whole storm. Just so much going on with this storm. Let's go back to the weather and hazards map, and let's take a look and see what Maine was dealing with today. And you can see 53-mile-an-hour wind gusts in Massachusetts here. So New Hampshire dealing with these very strong wind gusts. Look at Maine here. And yeah, it's crazy. It's at 57-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So really just crazy weather across the area. And like I said, we're not alone. The whole country has been dealing with this. A hurricane-force wind warning actually in effect for the coastal waters off Maine right now. Bangor, Maine, squalls and windy. Let's see if there's anything from the Weather Service here. There's a lot of trees and power line. Gusts to 74 miles an hour at Frenchville at Maine Airport. So we've had wind gusts over hurricane force in Maine. The snow depth at Bangor International dropped from 5 inches to 0. So all that snow got washed away. And this is insane. Absolutely insane what's happened in Maine. Here's some more reports of the wind gusts here. Current situation that E6 is on Essex. So let's see what's going on here. Let's see what we got here. Oh, power line sparking. Yep, that's what you have going on there. So it's nuts what's going on here. Highest wind reports, severe thunderstorm warnings. This storm is historic. Absolutely historic storm that we've had in Maine and across the whole country. It's unbelievable what's happened today with this storm. This past couple of days now. Finally, it's over, though, but now we deal with the cold. So let me go back to the weather and hazards map here, and we will go ahead and look at rainfall reports. No sense looking at highs and lows, but we will look at the rainfall reports here. Actually, I can just do this. Precipitation, and we can just do past 36 hours and see how much rainfall areas. Yeah, Long Island, we really didn't get that much rain on Long Island. Some areas out east got over an inch. It's mostly to the north and the west. Also, if you look at the New Jersey, Tom's River got around an inch, but it's that northern and northeast New Jersey where you got some really high amounts. Look at these rainfall amounts. That's not good. That's a lot of rain. And then Connecticut, too. We're going to look at these rainfall amounts as we head north and east now. Look at these amounts here. Massachusetts, over 2 inches of rain. Let's see Maine. Oh, my God. 3 inches of rain reported at Bear Brook. 3.50. So imagine the flooding that this is going to cause when this washes the snowpack away. And then that's going to freeze. 4.49 at Garza. This is a major disaster. These are the kind of climate change disasters that we're going to have to deal with now. All right? And don't tell Wall Street. They celebrated today. They went up about 100 points because they're clueless, hopelessly clueless. So now I'm going to go to the rivers and lakes viewer now. We're going to look at the rivers and lakes situation. And let me get to that. Oh, yeah. I see some areas in red. Here we go. Great South Bay. Still flooding. They're still dealing with flooding right now. Great South Bay at Watch Hill in a moderate flood right now, according to that chart. Let's see. We have Mauritius Bay. That's also up as well. We have some rivers over here. Mawa. This river also up as well. I'll make this a little smaller. So you can get that all in there. But here's Mawa as well. Up there as well, we have Barnegat Bay. Also, wow, reached a major flood. Yes, New Jersey had flooding too. We'll have to get to that too. So this is just this whole area here. So if I want to see what's going on in Maine, let's see if we can get this to Maine. Or is this not going to show Maine? Oh, I gotta. Why is this not working? They can't make it easy, can they? They cannot make it easy. All right, we'll go to the Caribou, Maine. Let's see if we can get a rivers and lakes report over there. Because I have a feeling a lot of these are in flood stage after all that rain. All right, here you go. So here are some flooding. Saco River. Look at that, and it's still going up. They're predicting it to reach 12 feet. Because, again, you had all that rain falling on that snowpack. Here's the Swift River. Look at that. That's going up. They have that going up. They're projecting that up to 9.8 feet. So there's going to be some flooding up there for sure when that snowpack melts. That's a big concern here. 2 gauges in flood right now over there in Maine. Absolutely insane. insane storm that we've been dealing with here. Again, like I said, they can't make it easy. They can't. I got to switch from weather office to weather office to get all the reports from all these gauges here. You can see the flood warning in effect, too. So you have the flood warnings in effect for the river. So river is here, so they've got flood warnings as well. I mean, this storm's literally every type of hazard you could think of. Strong winds, heavy rain, bitter cold, all wrapped up into one storm. Absolutely crazy, the kind of weather we're doing. So let's go now to the models. I haven't even gotten to the models yet. I haven't even gotten there yet, all right? Tropical tidbits. So there's your deep storm. 967 millibar low right there. Absolutely crazy. So we're just going to cover the weather for this weekend into Monday. And you can see the bitter cold is going to come on down behind that storm. Luckily, no more precipitation. The winds will still be, the wind advisory is over, but it's still going to be breezy tomorrow. And it's still breezy on Christmas Day and still cold. The cold will start to ease a little bit as we head into Monday. All right? And then we'll have more fairer weather come into the picture. I'm not going to go any more beyond that. So let's look at the HRRR model and take a look at, obviously we're not going to be dealing with any more precipitation unless you might have a stray snow shower out east. But the wind direction generally favors, I think, because it's a west wind instead of a northwest wind coming off the sound. I think we will be avoiding that. You can see the Cape may be dealing with that, but I think we'll be avoiding that. Obviously the lakes, there'll be lake effect up there. But let's go and look at our dew points and wind flow, obviously. Look at this bone dry air. Dew points below zero tomorrow. West winds. Dew points start to come up a little bit as the Arctic air eases. Still dew points in the single digits probably for Sunday. But below zero dew points for tomorrow for sure. That's quite cold, and this is the kind of air we're going to be dealing with. So tonight, temperatures drop into the single digits everywhere. And I think we'll see temp lows possibly reach zero, perhaps, in certain parts of the area. North and to the west, perhaps. Most of us will be in the single digits. And tomorrow, I don't think we make it out of the teens. We're going to struggle to reach 20. I don't think we make it there. And then tomorrow night won't be as cold as it has been. So tomorrow night, we'll have lows probably in the single digits, upper single digits to teens. If the winds relax, we might get that radiational cooling. I don't think that's going to happen. And then for Christmas Day itself, so Christmas Eve will be cold, but not as bitter as tonight. And then for your Sunday, it will moderate into the mid and upper 20s. All right, so that's still going to be cold. And then going to have to be cold again for Monday night as well. Sunday night. So let's Christmas Eve night. All right. So we're going to the GFS here. We'll look at the GFS. And we'll show you again. Here's your dew points and wind flow. So GFS still keeps us in. GFS is a little, look at that. Look at how that really dry Arctic air there. West winds. It's actually a fire hazard when you have such dry air, believe it or not. Especially if buildings and stuff. So this is something you have to be concerned about as well with such dry air in place. Here we're in the Monday. West winds still. We got the west winds and still fairly dry air in place. So that Arctic air will still be with us. It doesn't ease until Tuesday. Then we'll start getting out of the Arctic air. But we're still going to be with us, I think, on Monday. So let's look at the temperatures on the GFS here. Obviously, if we do see radiational cooling, below zero is a good bet if you're in the Pine Barrens, single digits and teens possible. We'll have a better idea if we're going to see that radiational. Here's Monday, still not making it to freezing. So we're going to be below freezing for a good 2 to 3 days. I think we're going to see a lot of our bays freeze with such a good flare. Even though it's been mild out there, we're going to see a lot of that freeze. And then we start getting above freezing, I think, by Tuesday. So now we'll go to the skies. Here's the GFS, obviously. Now, skies, we'll show you some pictures here of the skies today. Tonight, at least. This is what it looked like tonight. You can see some clouds and some clear sky there. And Virga here at Rockville Center. Yeah, I was actually outside tonight because I like walking around in the cold because I'm crazy. But you can see there is the sky there. Interesting little Virga there in the sky. This is what it looked like here at in the evening here at Twin Lakes. Not Twin Lakes, but Mill Lake and Wandsor. You can see pretty good flows out from the rain, but again, not as much rain on Long Island as other areas. And then this is some storm damage you saw in the pictures here. This sign got blown over there in Belmore. So, all right, let's go to the skies now. And as far as tomorrow goes, could be a lot. It's really going to be a tough forecast for tomorrow with the clouds. We may see a lot of clouds. We may not. I think we will wind up seeing some clouds are in the sky tomorrow. I don't think it'll be partly sunny, I think. More clouds as you head out to the east end. Less clouds. Looks like it has less clouds over New Jersey. This is the GFS low-resolution model. As we improve towards Sunday, it gets better. And then even better on Monday. Monday will probably be the sunniest day of the next 3 days. So let's go look at our some other models here with the skies. RGEM. This is the 0Z RGEM, so we'll use the 0Z RGEM. You can see it's got plenty of clouds over us tomorrow, and that's what I think we're going to see. Plenty of clouds. And then for Christmas Day, I think we'll see more in the way of mostly sunny skies, particularly Long Island, in New Jersey too. We will have mostly sunny skies. I think we'll have more sun, and it'll be a little better day to walk around. Tomorrow's still going to be pretty blustery, I think. Let's go. Though it's showing some clouds possibly moving into Jersey toward the middle of the day there. Again, could be lake effect, debris and stuff like that we'd have to watch out for. This is as far as this model goes, the RGEM. If I want to go a little further, we can look at the 18Z run, which will take us into Monday, and you'll see Monday should be the best day of the next 3 days. And it won't be quite as brittly cold. I mean, it's really bitterly cold out there. Here's the FV3, which is another model we could use, 0Z run. See, it's showing some clouds. It does have a little break over Jersey there. And then here's Sunday. And again, Sunday, it's showing less in the way of clouds. But still, I think it's Monday that'll probably be winding up be the best day as far as the skies go. The skies will be interesting to look at nonetheless with the Virga and, get that Arctic. You get some really interesting phenomena that happen in the sky when it's this cold out. So I think that will wrap up this weather update. A lot to cover here. Again, you can see the snow upstate, the south. I'm wondering if they're having ocean effect, because you have that cold air going over the. Let me see something for a minute. I want to look at the CONUS view here. Surprise! Yeah, you're not seeing quite as much of it. I'm guessing you see a little bit of it off the south there. Not quite as much as you would think. Let me go to the weather and hazards map. Wherever I put that, I don't even know at this point where I put it. I might have taken it away. All right, we'll go to 1 to ground instead. Make it easy on ourselves. All right, so you can see again, these are the temperatures we're dealing with here. Temperatures around 10. Look to the west though. Jersey's in the single digits. Pennsylvania, you're below 0. If you're upstate, not a big gradient upstate. The gradient is mostly off to the west. This is where you're going to see the really cold temperatures that are below 0 in certain areas like West Virginia, Ohio dealing with below 0, in Kentucky dealing with below 0, even in Tennessee, single digits, Arkansas, teens. If you get toward the south, it's a little better, 20s and 30. That seems warm compared to what we're dealing with, but still, only 20s in Texas. Galveston, right on the water. I mean, this is supposed to be a mild climate over here. Even if you're in Florida, look at how cold it's gotten. Northern Florida is going to be below freezing tonight. And if you're down in Tampa, look, 40s. And even if you're down in even if you're all the way down here in Miami-Dade, you're dealing with 60s, which is cold. 50s on the West Coast. This might make their way over to, you have to go all the way to Key West to get to 68. Well, maybe Key West will avoid the bitter cold. But every part of the country is dealing with it right now, except for the Southwest and the very tip of Florida. And, of course, forget it. If you're in South Dakota, you're well below 0. Forget out. That's just bitterly cold right there. Absolutely crazy stuff going on. Just crazy. I was trying to cover everything in this weather update. Tremendous amount of stuff going on here tonight. This is Ventu Sky, by the way. So we can also look at Ventu Sky if you want to look at a cloud model, I guess. So it's showing some clearing skies tonight. You can see we're in a little bit of clearness, but I think by tomorrow we're probably going to cloud over again. 5 in the morning, you see more clouds. 8, it's got some clear skies over New Jersey at that time. 10 o'clock, still showing a patch of clear skies over New Jersey. Once we get toward noon, everybody clouds over. And I think we'll just have a lot of clouds building tomorrow. This is the kind of air mass we're in, very highly unstable. We'll have to see this model maybe overdoing it. And then if we go in here, And look at this model here. You'll see it's still showing some clouds here. This is the HRRR model here. Still showing some clouds, but it's just showing mostly sunny skies over Long Island. So we'll see more sun on Christmas Day. Christmas Day will be nice. All right, it'll be cold, but it will be nice. The main thing is it's these wind chills that we're dealing with here. So let's recap everything here. We have a coastal flood advisory still in effect. Wind chill advisory is in effect as well. I'm surprised that we don't have a wind chill advisory. Actually, it's not in effect for us. It's just New Jersey that has a wind chill advisory. I do not know why. That should be for us too. So I don't know why we don't have the wind advisory. Wind advisory, that's done, I think, 10 o'clock tonight. Oh, nope. Has it been extended? Has it been extended here? No, that's Albany. So I think the wind advisory is over for us. Let's see. It should list our hazards here. Let's see what we got. No wind advisory. So we have no advisories in effect. But that's going to wrap up this weather update. It's a doozy of a storm. For sure. Historic and just another sign of the climate change that we're dealing with. You're putting more energy into the atmosphere. This is the kind of thing that you can expect to happen. And again, some of the deep air pressures that we've seen also. Really deep storm. Again, if you let me go to Maine, where you see where the deeper, like they're gonna have deeper. To 8.98 inches, so they're below 20. These are like tropical storm types of depths that we're dealing with here. So these are very, very deep storm. That's what's causing the wind, the pressure gradients between that deep storm and the cold air. Just seeing just crazy stuff going on. So that's going to wrap up this weather update again. Be safe out there. Be careful if you've got to be out, walk around. Don't be out there for long. Tomorrow will be a little bit better than tonight, but I think we're not going to see things improve as far as the bitter, uncomfortable, bone-chilling cold out there until Sunday. However, like I said, the cold does not bother me as long as I'm walking and moving around. If you're not, well, that's another story entirely. So I guess that's going to wrap up this weather update. Again, enjoy your holiday. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Well, Merry Christmas. We'll get to the Happy New Year part next week, but Merry Christmas. I'll have another weather update tomorrow, of course. Be safe out there. Again, dangerous conditions out there. It's really another sign of the climate crisis that we're seeing here. You have more energy into these storms. This is what happens. And for those on the South Shore, I feel bad for everybody who's had to deal with the flooding. Obviously, it's horrible. Saltwater flooding, very damaging. But chose to live there, instead of investing in the middle of the island. You should really be looking at the middle of the island areas. And those South Shore, especially, first it's going to be Long Beach and Island Park and Oceanside. They're going to have these problems in the southern parts of South and Merrick Road. And then it's going to spread northward as we continue to deal with the effects of climate change, rising sea levels, worse storms, which is a big reason why, part of the reason why I wouldn't want to live on the South Shore. There's a big reason why I wouldn't want to live on the South Shore, even though everybody else is just in love with the place. Climate change does not care about that. And climate change knows that the areas along the water are going to bear. See, this reminds me. I forgot of one other thing to show you. New Jersey, Jersey Shore, Ocean County. Let's get to the Ocean County area because, all right, there was a big accident on there. Let's see. They have nothing on here? Really? All right. Jersey Shore hurricane news. I think they're the ones who put some images of the flooding up. Let's see. Water damage from today's flood. All right, this is Hoboken. Look at this. Hoboken flooded. So they're flooding all over the area. This is like Sandy all over again. It really is. It really is. So this is, again, like the flooding here. Here's flooding. So, again, another look at things here. Water on the road. You can see, look at this flooding here. This is on the Jersey Shore now. So all these barrier islands, just people got to stop, this is going to be my one message here before I wrap this up. People have got to stop building in these areas, all right? We've got to stop building these areas. You have areas of New Jersey and areas of Long Island that are blighted. Let's build there. Let's improve those areas. They're away from the water. Instead of being by the water and dealing with this, because people listen to Wall Street instead of common sense. right, so that's my message. That's going to wrap up this video. I know I've gone on for too long, but a lot to talk about tonight with this historic, major storm, historic, almost like a hurricane over land, affecting a good part of the country east of the Rockies. Absolutely crazy stuff. As we deal with the consequences of a warming world, we see worse storms, more energy. Warmth means more energy into the atmosphere, worse storms. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Have a good night.